we can later watch it back. All right. So does anyone use any AI software? I'm very curious. I see everywhere like, yes, okay. And Memory, would you like to share like what kind of software you use? Very curious. So now also in every country it can be also something different. So I had less time about it, right? So please let us know. Oh yeah, I see from Veronica, DeepSeek. Yeah, DeepSeek. So the DeepSeek was from China, I think, right? Yeah, from China. And Memory had nothing at the moment. Okay, so cool. So you could like try it out, some of them. I hope everyone saw I sent that like a small article about like AI tools. So I would just like to cover like just a couple of them, and then we just focus on ChatGPT, because I think most of you know maybe already about ChatGPT, and that will be the easiest to start with. It's also for free, so you don't need to like purchase any plans. So like just to mention, like for example, for SEO, for like writing blog posts, there's like a software, a writing software, Jasper.io. And yeah, it's basically good for like writing blog posts, articles, because it's basically formatted for like that data. So the software knows already like, yeah, that you focus on writing basically. Further focus on SEO and yeah, basically like the whole travel writing sphere as well, blogging, everything with writing. So it's a very cool, yeah, software just to check it out. You can always try like a small, like how do you call it, like a test version of it. I think there's also maybe for 1 or 2 weeks. And further we have like WordPress.com. So that's like a very cool platform. We will actually cover it when we have a module about blogging. So I will teach you all like how to set it up and everything. But if anyone wants to get ahead, you can just go there. There's like, you can create a free account and set up like your portfolio, like your own website, right? Even like you can keep like the domain name WordPress.com, or even like make a custom domain name. But that means you have your portfolio. So if you send it to like a magazine or tourist brand, and they know like, oh yeah, this person has like a website, right? That looks more professional. You can put their blogs, your articles, interviews, photography, videos, podcasts, everything you want. But it's good to mention that nowadays WordPress.com has as well like AI functions. So that means you can generate like images sometimes with AI or commercial free. So that's quite cool. So you can add it directly to a blog post. If you didn't go, for example, to a place and didn't shoot the content, but you still want to make an article about, let's say, top 10 scams around the globe for tourists, let's say, then yeah, it's difficult to find pictures, right? But then you can create it with AI and still provide like the information. So for that, I think it's good, but personally, I always recommend to shoot my own pictures, and I always keep them stored in files. If I ever write an article, then I can always go back to those pictures and use them. So it's always good to make your own kind of like picture portfolio and can always come back to it. Further, what you can do with that is as well improve your SEO. We will also talk more about it. SEO is basically search engine optimization. And that means like that you optimize your blog post, your article for the Google search engine. And nowadays, next to Google, it's also important the AI search engines. That means you need to change a little bit the SEO strategy and, for example, make more like direct questions. And there are like more points into that, but basically it's like SEO, but then more for the AI search engines. So if people search in ChatGPT, best restaurants in Sweden, then they can find the answer, right? And of course, if you have authority, that means you have a lot of backlinking, like you have maybe some articles on other websites, people link to your website, good keywords in your text, so words that come back all the time. then yeah, of course, the chance is higher that they will that ChatGPT will suggest you, right? And that means more people go to your website, and if you have something on the website, for example, your own services or products, tours, whatever, then of course you can make more sales because of that, right? So that's a bit how the tourism industry works, and also like other industries as well. So it's something quite important. And it's nice with WordPress.com. You can always like use the AI to check on your SEO. So you get a score, and they say, for example, use more keywords, make more captions, or like improve your descriptions near the pictures. That means the Google algorithm will make your article more favorable. Yeah, further, also like very cool is basically your grammar, right? So especially if you're not like a native writer, for example, I'm not a native English writer, more I write the best in Dutch actually. But it's nice because now with AI, basically it can correct like your sentences if there are some like dodgy sentences, right? Then it can like correct it, and also like your grammar, your orthography, sentence structure, right? Interpunction as well. And the last one, what you can also get is like feedback. For example, make a summary at the end or make the conclusion more direct. So that's actually nice because that AI that they have now, WordPress.com, it helps you with that kind of task. So you have basically like a blank page and you write it, and it gives you like different like feedbacks. You need to click on it. Yeah, I have actually a good question from Veronica, and don't worry, everyone. We will have like a module about like travel blogging and SEO and how to use WordPress. I will teach you how to set up everything. So we will do like a class, like very, like a bit technical, I would say, like just from scratch how to set it up. But for the question of Veronica, I have actually on purpose two websites. So one website is like on WordPress.com. So that means I am on their server. It's like, yeah, something like Facebook, basically. They have like an option reader where people can follow you and subscribe. And yeah, they can comment. And the other nice thing is it's very like easy to manage, basically. So you don't need that much technical knowledge. So that's like, yeah, I would just write it down like WordPress.com. So that's the easiest one. And the other one, so the second one I would recommend, so I would recommend to start with WordPress.com. So that's just to get a feeling, okay, like it's like your portfolio, right? For your personal brand. With WordPress.org, it's more, I would recommend it if you start a business, like a tourism agency or marketing agency. If you really focus more like on a business that you know, like, okay, I'll be selling a lot of things. And that means with org, you have like your hosting provider. I use SiteGround, for example, personally. And you can also get a domain name. So that means you don't have any other text behind, just basically like I have, for example, on WordPress.org, perutours.nl. So it's like very specific. So that's also what I would recommend. If you have a topic, try to put the topic inside and make it as specific as possible, because that keyword in your domain name, it will help you to basically attract people, and people will type the keyword and find your website. So for example, I have another website with travelbloggingacademy.com, for example. So the other website is on wordpress.com. However, I pay also for like a subscription there because it gives you more benefits as well. And the nice thing is if people type in travel blogging on Google, then they can find my website usually on the first page. At least when I'm trying here from the Netherlands, maybe from a country, it can be more in the back. I'm not sure, but yes, it's true. I see Veronica. Oh, that's cool. So basically, if anyone wants, you can try it in Google travel blogging, and I'm curious, you can find my website like this, or you could try like this. I think if you put it like together, the chance is higher that I'm somewhere on the first one. So basically that helps you like the domain name with that keyword. So I was focusing on articles for travel bloggers. So then, yeah, it was very nice with that keyword. But yeah, just to make it simple, like we have WordPress.com. I would recommend to start with that. It's like your portfolio. WordPress.org. It's like a self-hosted website. So basically, you have more flexibility to play with it, with the design, with technical things like plugins. And I mean, you don't need technical knowledge for that because you can always hire someone to make the website, right? So I did that myself as well. I have a very nice friend from India, and yeah, she made like very beautiful like the design. I know also myself how to do it a bit, but yeah, she's like a professional, so I knew like okay, everything is working well. And to be honest, for everyone, just to avoid headaches, I would recommend you can find people on Fiverr, for example. You can find their people on Facebook groups. It's always good to find someone recommended. If you want, for example, to get like access to my designer, you can always message me, so I can also let her know. She's a very nice person. And yeah, I see from Veronica a question like, what is this? You mean Fiverr, right? So Fiverr is like a website where you can recruit people. For example, they can edit your videos. They can, for example, check your grammar mistake. They can write blog posts for you. So it's a bit more, if you start to function as a freelance journalist, you have too much projects, so you can like forward them, right, to other people. But on the other side, you can also let AI, right, the topic of today, to also do a lot of work. And I see also another suggestion, Grammarly. It's also a very good one. I'm not sure if they make also use of AI, but it basically checks your grammar mistakes. I use it for emails usually, Grammarly, also very cool. But nowadays I use the most, actually I don't use even Google Translate anymore. I use just ChatGPT for that. So, okay, so we had Jasper.io, you can check it out. So this is more like a paid one. We have WordPress.com, so I would recommend everyone just to start to take a look at that. You can watch some tutorials on YouTube, or you can just play around to start a website. And then the third one, ChatGPT, right? So I think everyone knows this one. So I just wanted to cover just a couple of AI tools just to not make it too overcomplicated. You have also AI that generates pictures, like videos. They do more deep research. So yeah, there are a lot of different tools out there. But for like travel journalists, travel writing, I would recommend especially these ones at the beginning to start with. So for example, ChatGPT, we will start today to practice a bit. I will practice a bit with like prompt engineering. So that means that you give the right commands to ChatGPT, and then you can get a bit more selected results. I see a question. They say for translation, DUPL is another professional tool, even much better and accurate than Google Translator. Oh, that's cool. DeepL. Okay, DeepL. Oh, that's interesting. I never used that actually. I usually use now ChatGPT, but just for everyone, it's also cool to check it out.
Yeah, the matter of fact is for DeepL, it has some kind of word limitation, but as far as you stick to that, for example, 200 characters is free. And it's one of the best nowadays agreed upon by most of the AI people.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Oh, that's good to know. Like
it's very spontaneous, very quick. You can easily change from source to target language. It's quite handy and very good.
That's nice to know, because I used to actually do myself also translation jobs. Like I need to like translate like whole documents or do like social media marketing campaigns, but for like, for example, like Alfes, for example, like a food production company, especially Moroccan food they had. So it was very cool to read about that. So basically I need to translate from like Polish to Dutch, for example, and to put it on social media. So actually it's also good for everyone to know that also, like people think that translation jobs will disappear, but still there are a lot of that kind of jobs that you need to translate a website and to do it also in the right way that you can connect with the audience, right? It needs to be good copy basically. Oh, cool. Thank you very much for sharing like the link. Okay, so it's like deep.com translate. Okay. Also very curious about it. Yeah, so further, for example, ChatGPT, right? If you want to have the right results, because as you can imagine, it's a big AI engine, right? Probably in the future, like there will be more specific software. So that means like Jasper.io is more specific for writing, right? But maybe you have some AI software specific for the GPs, for the doctors, right? For the medical industry, or very specific for psychiatrists that they prescribe medicine, right? So you have a whole AI software trained only on medicine and that small industry, right? However, with ChatGPT, you can also do that a little bit. So for example, what I used to do, I got one time ChatGPT Plus, and they have a little bit more options. And always just try it maybe for like 1 month or something. But the free version is actually totally fine. So no worries about it, because I use now the free version. It's good enough, I would say. But you can, for example, make a document, right? And in that document, you can describe your business or project, or even like article, right, that you write, or pitch, or video you want to make. And you try to describe it as much as possible, like the audience, like your goal, the style, right? And then you give like so much information, and the ChatGPT will then give answers also based on that information. You can also call it a bit like prompt engineering. I'm not sure if it's the right word for that, but basically you create like some prompts. So you put like some input, like text, and thanks to that text, you can get more specific responses. For example, it analyzes better, or to really focus on a specific element. And I would also like to show you also today something cool. You can also make your own team, for example. So imagine like almost like if you are a magazine, you can have, for example, a team can be like grammar Emma, let's call it. Two can be, for example, like feedback John, right? Three, it can be like sales Mark, right? So it can focus on sales. Fourth one can be like for example, distribution, let's say Rob. So basically what you do, you focus on some specific elements, and then you can ask like, okay, Emma, please correct the text, right? So they know like, okay, the grammar Emma, you can even put more description. So she focused on interpunction, on this, on that, right? Everything related to grammar. Feedback Jung is more feedback about your style, for example. Sales Mark focus on really like on the text, like, okay, is it like good copy? Is the company happy with it? It will increase the sales on the website. And distribution rapid can be, for example, sharing like your articles on, should you share it on Facebook groups, on WhatsApp groups? Should you share it in ads on YouTube, on Reels, in the newsletter, maybe with flyers, right? So that's a bit how you can create like your own AI team, right? Like a mini robots, let's call it AI robots. So that's actually a cool way. Other way, what you can also do, you can try it one time just to experiment. We will later experiment a bit with that. Is let's say you have like some travel journalists, right? And you can put their names and then say like, please make this article like Martyna Wojciechowska, for example, one of my favorite travel journalists from Poland. And then suddenly, like AI will search for her style, her branding, and it will even like talk to you like she's talking to you, right? So in that kind of like style, and try to give you feedback in that way. You can even like make it more funny by choosing like presidents, for example, like, oh, give feedback like Obama would do, or give feedback like Trump would do, or Elon Musk, right? So you can just make it as crazy as you want, right? So then, yeah, you can get like very like different feedback for your article. So that's quite funny. And also for like your content calendar, for your website, everything related to your travel journalism business, right? Or work projects. So that's quite a funny thing to do. We call like prompt engineering. So yeah, now I wanted just to do like a small challenge for today. We will also write something, but today we will write with AI. Okay, so we will focus on try to make a travel destination feature. And we choose here specifically for AI because AI is very good with writing like informative articles, backgrounds articles, right? That everything what you can get from internet. And also travel destination features. That means, for example, top 10 places in Greece to visit, for example. AI is great for that. It will give you like a whole list, and then you can, for example, make it personal by adding quotes of people, interviews, your personal experience, your own pictures, right? Change it up also. But yeah, you have a lot of websites that basically generate with AI and just publish, right? Even the images, especially the information. But yeah, as travel journalists, we always need to check if it's true, right? Because it can also provide fake information. So we can practice a bit. So everyone, please, can you open like your ChatGPT? I don't know if you have already like an account on it. Everyone has like an account? Is everyone now trying to make one fast? Yes, I see yes. Because I think for most of you, maybe you like know it already. So yeah, what we will do, I will also like open it for myself. One moment. So we focus with the travel destination feature on the 5 A's. So that's like access, how do you get there? Accommodation, where do you stay? Attractions, funny things to do. Activities, or more attractions, more like funny, yeah, or interesting place to visit. Activities, funny place to do. And amenities. So for example, is there a cafe nearby for digital nomads, or like pharmacy, like all those things. Maybe travel insurance, you can add there an affiliate link, for example. That's a bit what you can put in a travel destination piece. Oh yeah, so I see I'm using my phone, so I don't have access for the chat. Is it okay if I just watch what you are doing? Yes, of course, no worries about that. So that's basically, yeah, what we can do. And then I can also maybe share my ChatGPT. Let me check. I can share it, right? Okay. I'll just share the website, or like the ChatGPT. Okay. Entire screen. Okay. So for example, start like new project. So look, here you can everyone see it well? Here you can start like a new project, right? So you can see homework, writing. So okay, we could click on writing. Schrijven, okay. Let's make a project. Okay, so it's like a new project. That means it's like all fresh, right? The AI. And what's interesting, you can add here files. So that means if you have, for example, a tourist business or your own travel journalism agency, right? That you provide SEO, articles, reportage, photography, videography, social media marketing, like newsletters. Then basically you can edit in a file. What you do, upload it in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT thinks, oh, okay, that's what you are doing. Okay, now I know how to give you better advice. So I know you are not like a psychologist, doctor, okay, you are a travel journalist. Oh, you don't do this and that, but you really focus on this and that, right? So that's a bit the idea. So for example, you can add a whole file, and then we can do like, for example, we need to write a travel destination piece or feature about Morocco. Not sure how do you write Morocco with two C's? Not sure. Morocco. More like that. We will see Morocco. For Lonely Planet, right? So it already will scan like Lonely Planet as well. What is the publication? I want that you cover, let's say, top 5 places in the country to visit. Right, 1,000. Let's do 500 words, and structure everything with titles of the city, village. Cover also where to stay, where to eat, what to see, and what to do. You can make it, of course, more specific, right? But just to practice. So, okay, we want like a travel destination feature about Morocco for Lonely Planet. And you want to cover the top 5 places in the country to visit. So as you can imagine, that's like very basic article. And it's a good example for AI because a lot of companies do it now this way. So basically, there's a lot of like AI written content out there, like top 5 places to eat, top 5 places to visit, top 5 adventure sports. So if you want to make it more unique as a travel journalist, so you can add like quotes of people that you interviewed, like places that you saw, that you recommend, a bit more immersive travel writing. So that's more like the human content versus AI, right? So still can generate it with AI, and then you just totally change it into your own experience. But it's nice you can get like some information already. You can check that information, and sometimes you have just articles that are just informative or travel destination features. So it's just for you to make like an overview, right, of places you can visit as a travel journalist. So you can use it for pre-trip research as well. But okay, let's try it here. There we go. We'll see what it will generate. Let's hope it will generate something. Okay, so there we have. So look, it just writes basically for you, like the whole article, right? It's a bit scary when you think about it, but don't get scared of it because you still need like a person, right? To make it more like immersive. And you can add your own pictures, you can add even your videos. That's also what I recommend sometimes to make the blog very visual. Okay, it's still generating, I think. Okay. Yeah, so we have like 5 destinations, right? There we have. So, okay, we have a beautiful title, right? Top 5 places to visit in Morocco, from Sahara sands to Atlas peaks. And of course, you can like change it up by your name for Lonely Planet, right? And you can also change it how you want your title, right? So it can be also like visit Morocco, top 5 places, or top 5 places in Morocco can be also, right? And then we have first one, Marrakesh, the red city of senses. Marrakesh is Morocco's beating heart, a city of contrast where ancient traditions and modern arts collide. Start in the Medina, so it gives quite good information, right? But of course, you need to check it if it's true because it can be also sometimes a bit fake, right? So you need to always double check it because there's a lot of fake content nowadays out there. So where to eat, right? So you can also just check if those places exist. Maybe they're closed already, you never know. And as you can see, it features well, like where to stay, where to eat, what to see, what to do, right? And it even gives you like a conclusion here. So you can always like play with the text. You can say, for example, please make it more immersive travel writing and add my quotes from the interview. And then I put fake behind, okay, because we don't have any interview, but imagine you have, and then you can add those quotes, and then maybe even the AI can place it in the right, in the text. Let's see what it will happen. It's also very important to clarify very well to ChatGPT what you want, right? Because sometimes if you don't give the right prompt, then it can give you like a lot of nonsense as well. But okay, they say absolutely. Here's a more immersive magazine-style rewrite of the Lonely Planet feature, written as if you, the travel journalist, just returned from Morocco and shared vivid impressions through an interview. It keeps Lonely Planet's informative tone, but adds atmosphere, sensory detail, narrative flow. As you can see, okay, so they made it a bit longer, right? A bit more in a story. So you have, if Morocco has a heartbeat, it's Marrakesh. The air is thick with the scent of orange blossom, leather, and cumin. I found myself lost in both senses within the ochre maze of the Medina, where every turn leads to a riot of color and life. I remember standing in Jema El Fna at dusk, I said during our interview, and it felt like stepping into a dream woven out of smoke, drums, and mint tea. So as you can see, now it writes totally using like the immersive, right, storytelling. You can also say, make the article very dramatic because of the recent protests in the country. I don't know what will happen, but for example, something recent happened, maybe it will also include. Okay. As you can see, from the street of Rabat to the dunes of Merzouga, Morocco pulses with a heavy tension these days. So this will be more like a news article, right? So basically, you write maybe you write a story for like a travel blog or tour agency about Morocco. You still want to feature like the news article, and then behind maybe give a bit information that the protests already passed by, and now everything is safe, but still people are sad about it, for example. So we have here Morocco pulses with a heavy tension these days. The country is in the grip of protests, a youth-led uprising called Gen Z 212, and always check if it's true, because sometimes like ChatGPT can also like scam you as a travel journalist. Demanding reform, dignity, health, decent education, not more stadiums. Wherever I walked, I felt the energy electric, fragile, and defiant. Okay, so as you can see, right? And here you can even see some interviews. I met Amina, university student, who said, I came here for beauty, now I come here to pray. So as you can see, you can also like even put like some current events into the text, right? So it can be very creative. But yeah, you can play out with the text, of course, and if it's like for your own website, yeah, you are totally free to use it how you want it. But if you do it for like a publication, I would actually recommend just to check out the contribution guide if you're allowed to use ChatGPT, because maybe they can use like software that can check if you use ChatGPT. So in that case, I would just recommend maybe only to use it for pre-trip research. So for example, do a pre-trip research about cool stories that I can find for National Geographic in Marrakesh, let's say, right? Oh, look, it even provides some news. So in that situation, then it will give you like a lot of information about, yeah, what kind of stories can you find, right? Oh, there's something, a tradition like the Zafria festival. It's about artisan crafts. So you can maybe make something about challenges that local artisans have, right? You can do something with wildlife, maybe like some wild animals that attack local nomads in the desert, that they struggle with it, or local farmers. So there can be like a lot of interesting, like the protests, like the new subculture of Gen Z, right? So yeah, that's also like how you can find information. Then you can go set up interviews, make your own immersive storytelling by going there, trying the food. And nowadays, like how more you write from a perspective, how more authentic you make, how better it is for ChatGPT and for Google. So that's good to keep in mind. So how more AI you use, right, in without changing it, like Google also knows it, right? So of course it will put you a little bit in the back. So how more you change the text, how less AI you use, let's say in your story, then it's also a better position for you. But of course, yeah, AI can help you to give feedback, find a sentence that you're looking for, check your grammar, pre-trip research, give some ideas. For example, how does a news article look like, or a travel reportage? So I would say it's a great tool that we can use as travel journalists, but it's important not to be dependent of it, because one con is like can give you fake information. Two, it can lower your position in Google and ChatGPT as well, right? Because it will spot that you use AI, and for publications, they can check if you used AI with some software as well. Yeah, fourth is just also like a bit less human content, right? You can sometimes see that it's a bit the same generated like for someone else as well that's using the same prompt. So that's a bit how you can use like the AI. And other thing what you can do, you can say, please improve the SEO, adding more the keywords. For example, what do we have here? Marrakesh, because you focus on Marrakesh. So then you can really, for example, you want that people find, when they type in Marrakesh, that they find your article. So let's say you decide you will write 500 articles about Marrakesh, then definitely there's a big chance you'll be on the first page of Google. You call your blog like Marrakesh Guides, for example, and yeah, people will find you. Then you can offer some tours, maybe some advertising for local companies. So as you can see now, it's like improving the SEO basically, and they put here which keywords they use, right? So as you can see, it's a great tool. And I see some questions popping up. Yeah, oh, nice. I see here an article. And here I see also someone wrote, yeah, AI hallucination happens when the system produces false or misleading information due to pattern prediction, errors, outdated data, unclear inputs, or the absence of real-time fact verification. Yeah, very good words. So as travel journalists, we need to be very aware, just like double check everything. So, but that means for Google as well, right? I mean, if you read something on a website, it doesn't mean that it's true. Even if you read like very important, like news outlets, magazines, sometimes it's also like not true. Maybe something changed, or the other travel journalists didn't do a great job, right? So it's always good to like dive a bit deeper and check it, right? So if you have like a source, double check it, right? So for example, what AI generates, check on Google, and you can also double check that source as well. And then you know, like, okay, if two organizations talk about this the same, like common sense, or you interviewed someone, then that's the best way. I would recommend especially interviews, and instead of telling that something is like that, you can let people quote it. So for example, according to this archaeologist, this and that was built in this year, or this and that happened, for example, with that community. I think that that's a great way, because then you tell more stories of other people. And I see a beautiful example. I see also a question. How can I find about press trips offered? Yeah, so let's say, okay, that's a good question. So let's say you want to go for a press trip to Morocco. So now let's ask AI. Okay, become my PR agency become my business coach of my PR agency. I am a travel journalist. And I want to go on a press trip to Morocco. Right? Which companies, tourist boards, tour agencies can I contact that organizes press trips to Marrakesh? Something like that, Marrakesh. Okay. All right. So Mansur, let's check what AI will tell to us. And always keep in mind, it's always good also to think yourself as well, right? Like where you can find all those companies, because otherwise you'll be too much based on AI. But yeah, I see it gave some information. Then the question is if they exist, right? Because some links can be maybe expired. So we have Morocco National Tourist Office, the official tourism board, so that can be cool. You can ask, right? Connect with them. For Life Maroc, Marketing Deluxe, a PR agency. Maroc Mama, a large English language travel website based in Morocco, good for storytelling partnerships. Oh, that's cool. Violet PR, Tourist Marrakesh, Morocco Discovery, Marrakesh Morocco Travel, Marrakesh Events. So yeah, you can see like you got already have around almost like 10 different companies that you can reach out to, and maybe they offer press trips. So for press trips, I would usually recommend tourist boards and PR agencies to reach out to. And then the third one, just the tour agencies itself. Because the tourist boards and PR agencies, they have a network of tour agencies, right? So they can put you in the right context. If they feel like, oh, this tourist agency or tour agency looks for like travel influencers specialized in Instagram reels, then they know like, okay, we want to contact this person with Anna, for example. If they see like, oh, you have Igor, his expertise is Peru, and especially local culture, indigenous culture, then they know like, okay, we need to contact Igor to make like to go on a press trip to the Amazon jungle, for example. So that's a bit a way to connect with them. All right, so here you can see that you can also ask this to ChatGPT. And I see also here a story about Greece. Top destination in Greece, my expert guide for every traveler. Okay, I will just check what you have here. From sun-drenched islands to mountain villages, Greece is a country where history meets hospitality. After years of travel and research, I have selected the best destinations that combine beauty, comfort, authentic experience. Okay, so it's like I'm checking like who wrote this one, because I'm just checking like you, sir.
It was just for the kind of practice you gave. You said access accommodation. At the same time, I got it from the chat GPT and just shared it in the group.
Oh, that's cool. That's
just
cool.
as
So
an example. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good example. So sometimes you can also add amount of words that you want that it uses, or a style, like you want to make it like dramatic, funny, very critical. So you can do that as well.
Yeah. Also, can I ask you one question, Mr. Igor, if I may?
Of course, yes.
Because at this moment we are talking about press trips, and I was wondering, I remember a couple of many years back, PAM tours or familiarity tours, which also provided by some companies, and press trips. It would be nice to know for us or anybody who's dealing with travel and journalism stuff, what are the potential kind of free, although I know this is not a free journey, free holiday, it is full of responsibility, but as a kind of job, do you know if there are any other versions for such a kind of opportunity for us to look for?
You mean like if they also offer like paid projects like press trips?
Or at least it covers you, for example, your flight, your accommodation and stuff is a kind of like a mission for
Yeah, they cover it. They cover it.
yeah,
Like not everyone. So
yeah,
it really depends, right?
yeah.
Because if you want, there are like many especially tourist boards. I would recommend because if you think about tourist boards, you need to think about they get like sometimes money from like the government, right?
See.
So grants and stuff like that. So basically, they have a budget from the government. So they have because they want to promote their country, right? Like for example, yeah, today I was during the event and I talked with the tourism board from South Korea, for example. And first I was thinking they are a travel agency, but they said, no, we are not a travel agency. We are a tourist board and we promote South Korea as travel destination. So yeah, they gave a lot of different, yeah, it's not only from Korea, these ones, but a lot of flyers, right? They had their big posters. And yes, I also asked, actually funny because I also asked if you do some press trips, and they said, oh, we are just like the organization that does the events. So basically, they hire them to do the events, but you need to check the website for the press trips, for example, right? Because we don't know about it. So
So
basically,
I'm sorry. So does
for
it
sure.
mean, for example, for inside Netherlands, it is affiliated to the Ministry of Tourism or something if they have, or for other countries and destination, most probably we have to check in their
Mm-hmm.
embassies when there is maybe a consulate or something like a tourism board
Yeah,
affiliated to the,
especially tourism boards. It's a very good way.
yeah.
Other thing what you can do is PR agencies. So that's more like commercial, but they have big networks. So basically, one PR agency can have like a network of 500 companies, and of those 500 companies, maybe like 20 companies look for travel journalists, videographers to go on a press trip, and they can even like schedule you on more press trips. And then of course you need to check yeah what you get in return, right? So yeah, you need to like yeah, sometimes they have already that they say to you, we cover your flight, accommodation, foods, and we give you even like 500 euro, for example, for like your time, right? And sometimes you have press trips that you need to cover your flight, but you can attend the event for free, you get food. um Personally, I don't have like experience with press trips because on a press trip you need basically, yeah, to cover like yeah, you're kind of like what I don't like about it that you're basically stuck with the tour, right? With them basically, maybe even with a group of people, and you are not sure if you will like it, and maybe imagine if you don't like it. I mean, it will be very bad to write a bad article. So you're not that objective, to be honest. But yeah, it's usually if someone like pays you for your work, like yeah, you do your best to write a bit more optimistic. But sometimes as travel journalists, imagine if you go to the hotel and the food is horrible, like there are bed bugs, let's say, then yeah, it will be probably a piece that you want to write about, yeah, the reality, right? But then on a press trip, you feel a little bit stuck maybe because they will not invite you anymore, probably if you write a very negative article. So yeah, so it's good to keep it in mind. Other way, what you can do is also collapse. So collapse, you negotiate a bit more your own terms. So that means I can give an example. I went to the Amazon jungle, to the Amazon lodge, and before I went to Peru, I messaged them like, "Hey, I'm a travel journalist. I want to stay 5 days in the Amazon jungle. Can you offer me like accommodation and the experience, the tours, the food? And in return, I will write a beautiful travel blog, so to feature your Iquitos as a travel destination. And I will be happy to feature your accommodation, my experience in your accommodation. So it's nice because yeah, then I can talk totally free about my experience. Um, and yeah, of course, it's always, yeah, I mean, if I would make a blog post that's very negative, that's also not nice for them, but that's also a bit of risk that they take, right? And yeah, I had like a 5 days call-up, for example, in this situation. So then you can negotiate the terms, right? So you can negotiate more. And you need to do it well, because sometimes there are also like scams sometimes that they invite you, you think it's free, and then suddenly you need to pay something. So be careful with that. So now to trust the person. I see a question. I have taken several press trips as a journalist. Oh, that's cool. Most of them are offered by national tourist boards of different countries. They paid for my airfare from Canada, accommodation. In return, I publish a promotional feature with pictures in several newspapers and travel magazines. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Answer. So basically, you contacted like tourist boards, and they offered like, hey, okay, you can join us, we cover everything, and in return you need to write like an article, right, with pictures, and it got published in newspapers and travel magazines, because that's the thing, right? So you have the tourist board. So what do they want? Promo destination, right? Promotion of the destination. That's what the tourist board wants, right? The PR agency is basically a feature company in media, right? The media, they want a story to get more views, right? And more ads because they make money with ads, right? So they want a very nice story, so more people will feel like, wow, it's a cool story, they share it, and then they can sell more ads. And tourism, let's say tour agency, they want more sales, right? So it's more exposure. So it's through PR, right? So if a travel journalist goes on a press trip, it will give them PR. That means like public relations. So the travel journalist will write the article, and then they get more exposure, right? So you have tour agency, press trip journalist. That means exposure. And if they have exposure, that means more leads and sales, right? So that makes they can make more money as a company. So yeah, of course, you always need to check as a travel journalist how you feel about it, right? Making like a story. A good PR strategy as a travel journalist, what you can do is you can talk with a local company and check what's unique about them. For example, today on the event, I talked with one person that's organizing also like photography tours, for example, but focus more on birds watching and photography. So that's very niche. So it can be very cool in a magazine about birds, right? So it fits well. But another tourism company offered like tours for people with a disability. So that's something very interesting. So for example, as a travel journalist, I could write like the most 5 friendly destinations or companies for people with physical disability. So they can then I can write about those companies, how they offer it, and yeah, it can be in the news, right? Like it can be something good, like that the companies do something good, that they really focus on that group. I see from Veronica. Oh, you also checked the ChatGPT, I see. Or you wrote it yourself? I think ChatGPT, right? Just checking. Moscow travel guide, food, culture, and nightlife in Russia's capital. It's actually very funny because you see everyone, even like with your, it's funny to see like even like with ChatGPT, everyone has a different style of like putting in prompts. So you can see like a different output. So that's quite funny. For example, you have an output with emoticons like the the plate, right? Yeah, that's nice. I really like the title actually. Explore Moscow, city where imperial history meets modern luxury. It's also funny because you can see it looks a bit like Veronica used like keywords. Explore Moscow, imperial history, Kremlin, Moscow attractions, right? Danilovsky market. So those are the keywords that people put in Google, and then they can find your article. So that means they go to your website, right? Okay, did short with main features and keywords. Yeah, perfect. Well done. Yeah, then later you can, for example, just use it kind of as an idea, right? So it's like an example, and then just totally change it in your own version. So check the sources, make it like shorter, longer, other words, right? Synonyms, other sentence structure, quotes. So it's, yeah, I would recommend to make it as personal, like talking about your experience, like what did you smell there, like what did you, how did you feel, like your emotions, yeah, the touch of the food, the smell, right? So it's very, very important. But yeah, well done, because today the idea is just to write with ChatGPT. Okay, I did short with main features and keywords. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so like I would actually like to ask, like, do you have any questions like about how to use AI for like writing like articles? So for now we did like travel guide feature because it's more based on information. So it's good to use ChatGPT for that. For an interview, it's a bit more different, right? So are there any questions?
Hello.
Hi, Veronica.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh yeah, I can see you.
I
Hi.
didn't see myself. Yeah, okay, I'm here. I would like to ask you because I'm always thinking how, in general, we are going to make money from this travel journalism profession. Because if you go to press tour, and if they don't pay you money, it's okay. You could go. You could, for example, stay in the hotel if they pay your air tickets, accommodation, and you could write something about hotel, about this, I don't know, a tour or something. But how you make money? Because you know that I'm thinking in my head um, how you need like a travel journalist if you are a beginner to find someone, if even if you make portfolio, to find someone who are going to invite you and pay you money. And of course, if for example, to make it for the development of your personal brand, and even if you have a purpose further, um, to make it like a permanent income. Because for example, you live in Europe, yes. I live, for example, in Russia right now, and you can't just do this job for 500 euro or even for 1,000 euro. You need in Europe, I don't know how much money, 2, 3,000 or even 5,000 euro, because life is very expensive in our country and in yours. And you need to think over how you catch the projects and how you earn this money. This is the
That's
question.
totally
And
true.
this
It's
is
a
my
very
main
good
question
question.
about which I'm
Yeah, it's a
thinking
very
even
good
right now.
question, because I think in general, a lot of travel journalists struggle with that. And that's why it's good to see, like, so let's zoom out a little bit first. So what are different ways to earn money with travel journalists? So one is a job. It can be physical. That means you go, for example, you work, let's say, at a tour agency, and you do their marketing as a travel journalist, or you help them with PR, right? So it can be a tour agency about Peru, can be a tour agency about Marrakesh, it can be a tour agency about the Sahara, wildlife safari in Ghana, for example, right? It can be Galapagos bird watching safari, right, in Ecuador. So it can be physical, the job. So that means maybe you even don't go to travel there, but you are like in, for example, in Russia, but you write and you do the PR and the SEO blogs for like a company in, let's say, in Ecuador, right? Or let's say a company that focuses on tours in Ecuador. But still, like, they can send you out to Ecuador maybe for 2 weeks, 2 times per year, for example, to take the pictures, to document your story. So that could be like a paid press trip, and they would even pay you the full-time salary. So that means it can be a physical job, right? And with that physical job, you could get full-time payments. It can be like 2,000, like in Netherlands, for example, it will be between 2 to 3,000, between 2 and 3,000 euro, I think, as a starter. And if you have more experience, it could be even like 3 to 4,000 euros, for example. So we talk about content marketing, PR, working as a travel journalist at the editorial team. So that means you write articles, but usually nowadays, journalists not only write articles, they also do a little bit of Facebook, sometimes even a little bit of ads, because that's more marketing, right? But still, a lot of travel journalists do more like multimedia. That means sometimes they make a advertorial video. So especially that kind of projects are usually very high in demand by almost all the companies, because all the companies needs to be almost, most of them, they need to be online, right? To have their channels, to connect with clients. But let's focusing only on travel journalists, let's say only on magazines, newspapers, so that will be physical. You are an editorial team of 8 people, and you get monthly payment, right? So that's one idea. So it could be like between I would just put like a net Dutch tariff. That could be for starters, right? So seniors could be even higher, right? So it could be even we need to check Indeed, like the website. You can sometimes check on Indeed and really find like the salaries, because in Australia and the US it's higher, UK as well. So that's like physical job. Other idea is like remote job. I really like this one, for example. It can be also an editorial team. So let's say you work for a magazine in the Netherlands, Columbus Travel Magazine, and you write news articles, travel reportage, SEO blog posts for the online websites, and monthly newsletter, right? So everything with writing, let's say, as a travel journalist, and they will pay you the same amount, right? Because you don't need to come to the office. For them, it's also a lot of costs. So you earn, let's say, 2,500 to 3,800 euro, but you decide to live in, let's check a destination, for example. I can give you like example of Peru, live in Peru, Lima, even the capital, in Barranco neighborhood, right? So that means you earn the 2,500, even let's say if you earn 2,000 euro, let's say, then still, because you earn like in a high economy, high currency, you can spend more in that lower currency abroad, right? Because you write about Peru, but you are not in the Netherlands, you are in Peru. That means you can spend less. So that means you can save like twice more per month, basically. So that's a lot of difference. So that's a bit called.
For example,
Yes, sorry.
Excuse me. Did you finish, or I could
Yes,
ask?
I finished. Yeah. You can ask.
Because, for example, I don't have skills how to shoot these videos, and then how it's called in English, to make it like shooting and then correcting. How it's called this?
Editing. So you shoot a video and then you can edit it.
Editing and put music and running with camera, because I don't have these skills, because you need to learn about this photography, videography. I could only write, because I could.
But that's okay. But that's totally fine. If you prefer writing, there are like many like jobs that are focused in media on writing, like articles, like reportage, SEO blog posts, even more commercial, it's copywriting, content marketing.
Content marketing, it means that you don't need to have these skills about video and photography, or you need.
Content marketing can be also content marketing can be video as well, sometimes even audio and photography, but you can focus with content is basically I can call it in Polish treść, so like something that you develop, right? Like your content, like, so it can be written content, it can be filmed content, or content based on images, right? So if you only want to focus on writing, there are like many jobs that only look for like people that write, because they look sometimes for videographers, and they look for people that just make videos from their hand, like vlogs, very like informal, because people, the algorithms like that as well, actually, on Instagram, that people just use their phone. And other companies look for like cinematographers with a big camera to make like those cinematic shots, like and drone shots, or someone that just only edits the video. Those are like, that's all travel journalism if you do it in the travel and tourist industry. But it doesn't mean you need to know that all. So it's like, it depends where you want to specialize in. We will try to cover everything, and especially with the expedition to Peru, then I want really to teach like, okay, how can you use the camera? Like, how can you use your photo camera? How can you be confident when you are vlogging and there are people around you? How to make your notes outdoor, right? And the immersive travel writing. So that's more the practical side. But like, even like, if you prefer only to focus on SEO blog posts, there are many companies that only hire SEO blog posts experts, for example.
SEO blog. Because another thing, what I would like to try, except of writing, I would like to make interviews in English and in the Russian language, and I would like to show like simple happiness in the villages abroad, and to show how people live their normal life. And even I saw once about Poland. Our Russian journalist, she was Ukrainian, but she worked 2 years or 3 years ago in Russia, and she made shooting of the life of other people. And she made a shoot about Warsaw, and I studied in Warsaw, and it was like, when I saw on the Russian TV about her reportage, it was like ridiculous, because it was like, too much unreal from their reality, and how people truly live in Warsaw, and what they do, and what their level of salaries. And I would like to show like a simple life, not lying to people that they are living in this way, but truly they not live in this way, because you live in Poland by yourself.
A bit framed, maybe. It was a bit framed, so it can happen as well sometimes, that people frame it. They try to create, a travel journalist tries to really like set up a bit the scene, because like, as a travel journalist, you choose how you frame your content. Do you want to put the camera in this direction, or that, right? But sometimes you have journalists that even put the people like here, okay, let's make this scene and film it. So that's usually framing, but a bit in a negative way, because it's not reality, right? So I think that's maybe what happened.
And yes, and about the facts which you are sharing. Sometimes you give like a beautiful picture of Warsaw, and even about the salaries, about their life outside in the suburbs of a big city. Like, they give you like, it's very beautiful, good life like this, but they don't show the real life, how the people live their life, because you need to show like from the both sides, right? Like pluses and minuses, not like, Warsaw is the capital of Poland, and like, welcome, so let's go there, let's show people in the city, and then go to village and show how they like gather their crops like this. And it's like,
you want to show the reality, the real truth.
But I would like to show like how it was like in the reality, not like beautiful picture and let's go there. Of course, we are catch up by our attention with these beautiful pictures, but I would like to show how real life looks like, but also from the side of a kind way, but true way, not like, fake way that let's go and do, and like, like this. And
I think it's a good idea, like, and you want to really show like the real colors of a place, right?
Real colors.
and the
Yes.
good and the bad, and sometimes even like sometimes if you even cover like the a bit bad, like the slums, like a bit bad neighborhoods, it can also have a beauty, because in a
Of
lot of
course.
favelas, for example, there are a lot of artists, like you have like musicians, like upcoming like writers, because people become very creative, and gastronomy as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and I would like, for example, even to go and cook with some lady in the kitchen and show
Mm-hmm.
this, like to make it like a life, not like we're like just invited people and to show, I don't know, the pictures
Mm-hmm.
of their life which doesn't exist. Yeah, and like, could you please write about CEO post journalist? And
Mm-hmm.
the second thing which I would like to mention, that LinkedIn, I can't download application because it's blocked
Mm-hmm.
in Russia, so I can't find any opportunities. I just can go inside and see my profile, and I can't even, I don't know, search people with
Mm-hmm.
even VPN. So I need another maybe, because now I'm with VPN sitting and listening to you, and I need other maybe platforms where I could find
Mm-hmm.
opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And step by step, I can
Of
gather all
course.
together on English articles and in the Russian language, and maybe to offer, or maybe some like groups, because in Telegram also I'm
Mm-hmm.
searching, but I didn't still find.
I think those are good, like Indeed.com. They are a bit main platform, freelancer.com. Yeah, I know also a lot of Dutch ones, but those are not good then for you. Indeed.com, freelance. Sometimes you can even advertise yourself on Fiverr. It's not my favorite one, but you can advertise your services. So it's good to make a profile there, just that you are there and people still can contact you. So, for example, you can feature yourself as an interview expert. There's actually one guy, maybe not really a travel journalist, but he interviews very like wealthy people around the globe, and he became a millionaire because of that. So he started to interview like billionaires basically, and he made for himself a name. Just a very young guy, like 20 something, I think, and he was just going with the microphone to all those very wealthy areas and just asking, hey, what do you do for a living? Would you like to share it with the younger generation? Like, yeah, very, very good, because he was asking very good questions, very specific, was able to build a relationship, even get past the bodyguard, because sometimes they had like, yeah, two bodyguards with them. And he was still like, oh, sir, just 1 minute, just for our students. We want to help the younger generations. Of course, a billionaire thinks, yeah, of course, yeah, he wants to help the younger generation. So okay, I will give him that minute, right? So yeah, that's a good example how you can position yourself as as a travel journalist that does only interviews. It can be your specialization. So it can be on the street interviews, but it can be also podcasts. That means you can do it online and invite guest speakers. For example, tourist companies, maybe in Russia, that struggle now that there are not many tourists, and yeah, how do you deal with that? So it can be interesting, like documentary, for example, or it
But
can be about expats, for example,
yeah.
maybe Moscow, right? That they are like, yeah, how is your life? Like what do you like to eat? Your favorite restaurants? So it's, for example, to help to attract like more people. Or for example, Warsaw, you can do something like let's say you can interview like for example international students, right? And then you focus more on the younger generation of people that come there and study for a couple of years. So yeah, there are like many ways, right, that you put the right angle and the specific niche. So I think what you told about the villages to really like, or more about showing the real colors of a place, I think that's a very good idea, because people like that actually. And with that, you beat the AI as well, because the AI usually gives you more the service, right? And then you go more underground. You show and the beautiful restaurants, for example, but at the same time you show like the bad side, for example, of Germany, let's say Berlin, right? You show like a very beautiful place, like the Bundestag, the Berliner Mauer, and then suddenly you go to a neighborhood where you see like addiction, and then you talk about, oh, here on one side you have beautiful restaurants, and here you have people that live on the streets, and you show, for example, the reality, right? The differences. So I would think about that more. Yeah, you can interview people, more travel reportage, like video, if you would like to learn more about this, or just a story and with pictures and then quotes of people. That's also fine. I think, yeah, I think it's a good way just to get started. First, just to try it out and see if you like it.
Thank you.
I would recommend. Yeah, we will also do like one masterclass about arranging interviews. I think that can be a very good one for you. I think we can do something about it. So yeah, we just discussed like two ways, like physical job, right? So you can go even on press trips abroad, but that means you are more on one place. Remote job, it gives you the opportunity to travel hopefully around the globe. It depends, of course, of the earnings, because in some countries the cost can be more expensive, in other countries less. And then we didn't mention it can be also a freelance travel journalist. That's a bit more difficult because you need to, I would say, pitch more. You need to pitch, find projects, manage your time, pay taxes as well, right? And administration. And usually the employer takes the taxes out from you and they do the whole administration of the tax. Usually I would recommend just to use like bookkeeper accountants. But that's more like yeah, as a freelance travel journalist, you have the freedom, but at the same time you have a lot of responsibilities, right? That you need to have the discipline to like manage your time, to find the projects. So that's like freelance travel journalist, and that's also cool because that means if you find a project, let's say that the company pays you 2,000 euro per month, and you, for example, you decide like, oh, I can make it faster, and it only takes you maybe 8 hours per week. That means, yeah, you earn a big income, but you don't put that much time into it because, yeah, you can make it fast, or you have a team that helps you, right? So that's more travel journalism. The fourth one, the last one, yeah, actually, there's a fifth one as well, but the fourth one is your own business. With own business, it can be like PR agency, it can be your own travel magazine, your own travel blog, travel YouTube channel. It can be yeah, TV show, if we take it like very like can be a newspaper, local newspaper, even like a neighborhood one, right? So it can be even abroad for expats. Let's say in Indonesia, Bali, Canggu, you can make a newspaper for digital nomads, for example. So that's like your own business, but it can be also like, if we talk from tourism brand perspective, a tour agency, right? It can be even like a hotel. You can have, for example, or let's make it Airbnb. Airbnb, you do like as a travel journalist, yeah, you like do the marketing for it, right? You cover the whole destination where that Airbnb is, and you try to attract people to it. So just like some random ideas, right? There's a lot of them, but that can be like your own business. So if you want to start in the fourth one, I would recommend a travel blog because it gives you a lot of room to experiment, to see like, oh, maybe I can start like a monthly newsletter. Maybe I can offer SEO services. And that means, yeah, you can also have a team of people, right? Because a business is more like a team of people. So that means you find clients and you delegate work. Freelance travel journalist, it's more that you are a little bit a one-person army, maybe with some people that you work together with. But that's more that you put your own time, right, into that. And the business, it's more like a whole structure. Yeah, the fifth one, it's a bit like, yeah, I would call it a bit like investments. Maybe some people can recognize it a bit from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I just put a little bit more points into that. Switched a bit the strategy. So investment, it can be like intellectual property. So that means you invest, for example, in writing an ebook. Yeah, we talked with Veronica about a travel guide, for example. Or it can be like fiction, travel ebook, for example. It can be a video course. It can be like interviews recorded on audio that you can sell, right? Let's say 20 people that you interviewed. Can be templates. It's one of these. You can even make them with Canva. Can be your website. That's also like investment. So that means you can sell like your website, for example. If you have a lot of people that visit it, then you can also sell it, or a good domain name. But that's a bit, yeah, just if you dive a bit deeper into that. So those are a bit like the 5 ways, I would say, like structures, how you can make money as a travel journalist. There are like many fields. And yeah, every month we explore a little bit different ones. So I think it's a very good question of Veronica to get a bit idea, like, yeah, like how can you make a full-time income? So at the moment, I would just recommend, if you're already starting out, try like to find a job at in your area, for example, a remote job. And on the side, you can build like your freelance business, or really like more like your own business with more people. And then if you have a lot of time, you can of course also like write your travel guide, but yeah, it can take sometimes a couple of months, right, to create that kind of products that you can sell with ads, like travel journalist products. Other way, I also didn't mention, you can also ask for like a grant. That means that the local government will finance like your research abroad of an indigenous community, for example. So that's also cool. And I will share actually, like from National Geographic, they have a program, National Geographic grants. So I'll give you here one link so everyone can check it out. I'm also sharing the platform sometimes if you have like interesting job offers. But here you can apply for like the grant. Of course, yeah, it's National Geographic, so it's not that easy because many people know about it and they also apply. But if you have a very interesting project, you can get quite big amounts of funding, basically, like of a grant that you can do for your project. So that's also like a nice thing. And you can check your local government if they offer something for journalists. So you can search on journalists, media, photography, writing. Depends what you like the most. And yeah, just to cover also like some very specific expertises that you can have as a travel journalist that you can sell. It can be like, yeah, like Veronica said, interviews, right? They always look for interviews. It can be SEO, travel blogging, to help, yeah, travel magazines, newspapers, travel channels, yeah, the whole tourism brands industry to be found like on Google, right? So it's SEO, travel blogging. I will also put AI travel blogging. I think it's called AIO. So that means for the AI search engines. So it's a bit like SEO, but a bit with a small twitch. You have PR articles. So that's basically you help companies to be found in media. So I know this industry pays quite well, like the SEO and PR articles. I saw like vacancies even for like 4,000 euro per month. So that's quite a lot. So PR articles. We have, of course, when we talk about travel journalism, like, for example, your travel YouTube channel. Of course, with that, it's maybe you need to build it up a bit, but it's also a very good portfolio because people will see your face and it's easier later to connect with brands. Let me check. We have the most important, I would say, editorial, editor at a magazine. We have newspaper, television, online travel media. Yeah, it depends a bit like if you want to go more into the media industry or more into the tourism. But
Also,
those are.
sorry,
Yes.
Igor, based on what you had with a very nice discussion with Veronica, I just also came up with a table. I just share it already with you with your WhatsApp. If you like later, you can put it
Cool.
in the group or something, which is a summarization of the ways to make money with travel and tourism writing.
I'll have
More or
it.
less,
Oh, looks cool.
yeah, in
Share
under.
with us. Share with us. I'm waiting. Share with us in group. I would like
Yeah,
to read. And
yeah,
Yes,
share.
please.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. I will send my number. You could send to me also. Thank you.
That will be
sure.
awesome. Thank you
Okay.
very much. I'm checking it now. It's very cool. I see like copywriting also I didn't mention. Ghostwriting. Yeah, ghostwriting pays also quite well. You can do for Lonely Planet for travel guides. You can write a whole travel guide, but then more for like a specific company. So it's not your own, but they will just resell it and they just pay you for the service, right? But on the other side, you can also write your whole own travel guides. So I did both. Actually, I wrote one time a travel guide about Discover Holland like a local, with dialogue simulations to learn Dutch as well, and unique places for international students. And with the ghostwriting project, I wrote one time, I have it somewhere here, like a big paper, basically a study of social work, and they basically paid me for the project. So that's also possible. It was not really in the tourism industry, more social work, but it's also good to know that you can do that. What do you have? YouTube vlogging. Yeah, it's a very good overview. Perfect. Yeah, like what we can also do, let me check. Yeah, affiliate marketing we have, blogging. Yeah, some of them we will also cover a bit deeper, especially with travel blogging, like things like affiliate marketing, but I would recommend at the beginning just try to focus like on remote jobs or more like jobs in the local newspaper, like travel magazine, like had one time an internship at the local news agency, like the biggest one here in the Netherlands. It's called like NOS.nl. So basically, yeah, they did everything like television. They did. We also went like into a studio, and you need to, yeah, with headset, professional like professional gear. You basically do like interviews through the phone. So it's more for radio, for example. So yeah, you can do radio, also very important. People forget about that, and podcast. So radio, it's more, yeah, on radio, basically, people that listen to you in the car, on the construction site, right, when they work. And podcast, it's usually more seen that, yeah, you put it on YouTube or just people can just listen on other platforms online. So podcast, it's a bit like a new form of radio, but it's basically the same. Yeah, the link I see, don't know where. Which link do you mean? What is this? Oh, the link is just like to give an idea of like, for example, news website. So this is like one in the Netherlands, but I would recommend just to check like your local one. And they have usually like, if you go on the page, you can find career or contribution. So contributions usually for freelancers to contribute your article or pitch you can find. And career, it's usually that they have full-time jobs. And there are like many, like I even posted some jobs that there are magazines and websites, newspaper that offer career opportunities as well. So it helps, of course, to have a portfolio. And so yeah, try to use like those masterclass to also build your portfolio, right, with your travel articles. And later on, we have the module about making your website and travel blogging. Then you can just upload it later. So you have already some stories. Yeah, so they're like. Yes, sorry.
I wonder if I also can share with you another website, which is one of the best in the world. It has almost, if I'm not made a mistake, plus 10,000 or around 11,000 kind of magazines, journals all around the world, categorized country by country. So you can easily have an access and get some, it is called the I'll write it in the chat. The paperboy.com.
I think I heard about that. Yeah, so you can
Yes.
basically screen all those magazines
Yes.
like from A to Z. Awesome.
Yeah,
I will
absolutely.
just copy it and I will share
Yes.
it on our platform as well.
Yeah, which it used to be free and it is still free, but it gives you the gist of the best idea about every country. Most of the popular, so as truly you mentioned regarding the jobs or something in the newspaper or magazine, this also comes kind of handy.
Definitely, that's awesome. Thank you very much for sharing. Also, like Baha would also help me like with making like a new newsletter, because we also want to provide like a newsletter like monthly. Sure. So also like you all can also like get your first publication as well. So for example, contribute like a story, so you can really like learn how to pitch it. So you can start it inside the academy, so you can later also like show it to an employer as a portfolio. Oh, I was published in the travel journalism magazine, right? From like Travel Media Academy, or even just you can mention travel journalism magazine, so they know, oh, the person has already a publication. And also for those that want are more into for example the Peru destination, I have also a website, so it gives you already like some portfolio basically, right? Some publications. It's always easier starting with that. And I'm also trying to put up some more brands and like companies, and I talk also with some editors, so to give a bit more opportunities also that you can also publish in other magazines as well. So I think that's a good way to build your portfolio. And Baha, well done for sharing that, because I think that can be very
my pleasure. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I could have my last suggestion, which might also come, because now we have a lot of good people, friends, educated, experienced from different countries. I was wondering, when it comes for the assignment for this class, if we could just focus on the countries we are coming from or we are more familiar with, because the good thing is then, even when there is something wrong with the AI, with the accuracy or something, as an expert, as an experienced, we are the sources to verify the information. And at the same time, there would be more diversifications because, for example, you work on Poland, let's say Peru, somebody from America, somebody like me from Middle East, or in Iran, particularly from Russia. So this gives more enrichment and at the same time, more accurate information. And we would be later on, if we want to be more professional, we can be at least claiming we are some kind of expertise in this area. So I wonder if it, so for example, I was thinking if from now on, every homework assignment we have in the group regarding the villages, as Veronica mentioned, regarding the food or something. So for sure, I would be more contributor from my country's perspective, like a horse's mouth, as they call it, a reliable source. So just as a suggestion. And once it's finished, then we can go to the neighboring countries or even other continents all over the world. There is no limitation. For example, I was wondering if Mr. Mansour, if he can, from his country, if memory from her country, this is more real and also more in-depth, I believe.
I think we can definitely, I find it a very cool idea. I think in general, it helps a lot, like if you have like a geographic expertise or cultural expertise. However, of course, I can't force everyone to just only focus on their region or like there's a specific niche, because maybe you're still developing your niche, or maybe you focus uh, on global, right? But then on a specific topic like van life or solo female travel or specific deserts around the globe. But what we can do is for like the newsletters, we can do like sometimes that you offer like, for example, an article about your expertise of your home country. So we could do that. So I think that could be a very cool assignment. I see that Veronica, you wanted to ask something?
Yes, it's a very good idea. If I don't, if I understood properly, I agree, and I will come and I will shoot videos with Igor in Poland because I hope he will come
That would
back
be
to Krakow
awesome.
for some city, and
I'll
we
be
will
back for
maybe cook.
sure.
Yes, we will cook something, and I will ask you questions with my Belarusian personality. And also, I would like to go to you, or if someone agree from the group, I will shoot with them video, and we will find out which activity they want to show and which problems, which I don't know, whatever they would like to discuss. I will think over in my mind, and I would like to start. Showing these simple things from the people, not like from the pictures of billionaires or something, but normal people who live their life in their countries, and to make multicultural exchange, and to unite the world, because we are fed up with all these wars and everything, because it separates people, but I'm going to be like a union for all the people, because I have also different roots, speak different languages, and I would like to show the beauty of every nation, because I worked many years with foreign people in Moscow, in Russia, and I love it so much. And that I would like to back to myself, and to go to the world, and I hope that I can do this. I will go out of the limits now, because we have limitation in Russia, big limitation, and go to my what I'm dreaming about, like this.
Very beautiful words. I really like it, Veronica. I think it's something very important. Like sometimes we
Yeah, it's
forget as
very
travel
important.
journalists,
Yeah.
we are also like, yeah, we tell stories, but we decide how we tell a story, right? We can unite people. We can also like give like more people like energy, right? By contributing like a nice article about something optimistic, for example, right? Like that's why I love National Geographic, because usually they write about like, oh, we need to protect the rainforest, or we need to help this local community, or we should stop the war there, right? So I think that's, yeah, something very important, and especially as travel journalists,
Yes.
we can write for tourist companies, we can of course write for media, and we can also sometimes be like change makers, right? So helping basically local people out, and even like global conflicts. There are many like situations of travel journalists that really made a big impact with their stories.
I will also share in the group my article, which I wrote to Igor. It's not
Yes,
like a little bit about the task what we need to write, but I had this inspiration because I am originally from Belarus, and when I came to Moscow, during all these years, I started to lose my personality because I started to be shy, because I'm from Belarus and I should copy or I should become someone else to confirm the standard of this society. And I am back to myself during all these years. And now, when I return my inner power, who I am, I would like to show to the world, people from South Africa, from France, from Netherlands, all people have their own story. And I would like to show to the world, never mind how you power, you should proud of yourself, of your village, of your motherland, of I don't know, even of your story. You need to be proud of yourself. And I will go with this message to the world, because all people, sometimes they felt bad or something about their story, about their motherland, and like this. And we should unite. And I would like to show that they are very powerful, and they could do in their village, in their city, and I don't know where, and show that I'm proud of myself, of my skin, of my origin, of whatever. And and I'm going to go to this world like this. Thank you so much, and
of
we will
course, of
finish.
course. I think it's a very,
Thank you.
very good
Thank you
idea.
so much.
Also, you should put it like in the mission as well. Like for example, if you have your website, just like what you are driven by, like it's also like nowadays people like people that want to be a change maker, that they want to spread like
I would like
optimistic
to be a
word,
change
because
maker.
yeah, we had a lot
Yes.
of like negative information, right? From like COVID, wars, inflation,
Yes.
tariffs, like a lot of like bad things. And I think as travel journalists, it's good to be critical, right? To cover like the things that are bad things that are happening, but also give vulnerable people and vulnerable local communities a voice, but at the same time also try to give like optimism, right? Like to give positive messages to the people as well, right? By also featuring stories about beautiful places to visit, like which wildlife places you can see, right? Like which animals you can spot, like for example, National Geographic, but at the same time also like the change maker stories of local communities. So I think that's a great way. I really like what you are saying about that, to be also a bit like kind of like a pioneer, or we call it like a change maker basically.
Yeah. Yes, and at the end, I would like to tell you that all these foreign people which visit Russia always gave me this support, that they were always, in general, proud of who they are. Because in their mentality, it's not like someone like, like in our culture, in Russia, in Belarus, it's like, you should sit at your table, just work, and doesn't go like and show off yourself. But when the foreign people come in, they were so confident. They have like a little different mentality. They are very proud of the skin. They are very like, keep the way they are. In general, I saw like when I was doing all these years tours, that they are very proud of themselves. And they have their dignity. They like, support their culture. And I would like to show even to our people that we need to change some mentality, and we need to come out of these limits, because world is changing, and world wants to make this intercultural exchange not like, living in this negative approach, but in a very positive, open approach.
Of course, yeah, I think it's good, and you can be like a good person for that, to show like, hey, you don't need
I
to
will
be
try.
scared about the outside world. There are like so many beautiful cultures. You can connect with each other, right? For example, in The Hague, in my city, we have here also like a beautiful Chinatown where you can go try the Asian cuisine. We have like some street that's more focused on Moroccan bakeries. Further, we have some Polish stores, of course, the Dutch cuisine. So beautiful to interact like with different cultures and try the cuisine. So I think you could be a very good person for that, to show also, to be like the middleman in between, right? Like the person that makes the bridge to show like the other culture. And that's a good way of doing like interviews, travel reportages. So yeah, just to like not keep everyone waiting, because it's like late, I wanted to give you like a small challenge for everyone. So try to write like a travel destination feature. So the one that we did, or you can use the one that you wrote already. It can be about your home country. That will be the best, because you know it the best, right? But if you have also like a destination that you're an expert in, or something that you really love to write about it, that's also fine. For example, the travel destination feature that you write, if you have written it already in ChatGPT, try to make it more like human AI. With that, I mean, try to use like quotes, immersive travel writing. So if you generate it with AI, try to make it as human as possible. So basically to change it more into like human content. So that's like the challenge for like the next class. And then we will check like the articles and like discuss it and see how we can also use AI to like improve it. And hopefully you have another piece of content for your portfolio. So that's like the challenge. I will upload it on the platform as well. All right. So any questions before we close?
Thank you so much for such a lovely discussion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm happy you liked it.
Thank you. Have a good night then.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Good night. Thank you. And if there will be any questions, you can also like always ask in the platform. And don't forget to publish your stories.
Okay.
Thank you, Memory.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.